You don't notice inflation at first. Nothing dramatic happens. No sirens. No breaking news alert on your phone. You just pause a little longer in the grocery aisle. You put one item back. You tell yourself you'll buy it next time. That moment is inflation changing your life. Not the headline number. Not the percentage on the news. The quiet decisions you don't even remember making. And that's why this matters right now. Because inflation isn't just about prices going up. It's about how people start living smaller lives without realizing it. Let's rewind. Inflation used to feel like a background problem. Something economists argued about. Something central banks handled. Today it's personal. It decides when you move out, when you get married, whether you have kids, whether you take risks or play it safe. And most people don't understand how it sneaks into those choices. So let's strip this down to the bones. Inflation is simple. It means your money slowly loses its ability to say yes. That's it. Last year, your salary could say yes to more things. This year, it says no more often. Same paycheck, different power. Here's where it gets uncomfortable. Inflation doesn't hit everyone equally or all at once. It hits decisions before it hits bank accounts. Imagine two people. One already owns a house. The other is saving for one. Inflation helps the first person. Their debt shrinks in real terms. Their asset rises with prices. The second person falls behind every month. The goalpost moves faster than their savings. Same economy, opposite outcomes. That's not an accident. That's how the system works. Now zoom in on daily life. When prices rise, people don't instantly panic. They adjust. They stop eating out as much. They delay vacations. They keep the old phone another year. They stay in jobs they hate because uncertainty feels expensive. Inflation trains caution. And caution changes behavior. Businesses notice this too. When customers hesitate, companies hesitate. They delay hiring. They slow expansion. They quietly raise prices instead of innovating. Inflation makes everyone defensive. Here's the hidden math most people miss. Inflation punishes waiting. If prices rise 7% a year and your income rises 3%, you are moving backward even though you're earning more. That gap doesn't look dramatic month to month. But over years, it rewrites your life. You don't take the course. You don't start the business. You don't move cities. Not because you can't, because the margin for error disappeared. This is where the irony kicks in. Inflation is often justified as temporary, as something we can ride out. But human decisions aren't temporary. Once people delay kids, many never go back. Once home ownership slips out of reach, it often stays there. Once risk tolerance drops, it doesn't magically reset. Short-term inflation creates long-term consequences. Now let's talk about the part nobody likes. Why inflation keeps happening. It's not just greedy companies. It's not just supply shocks. It's not just one bad policy decision. Inflation thrives when money grows faster than trust. When governments spend more than they collect, they borrow. When borrowing gets too expensive, central banks step in. When money becomes easier, prices eventually respond. Not instantly, not evenly, but inevitably. And here's the quiet truth. Inflation is politically convenient. Raising taxes is visible. Cutting spending is painful. Inflation spreads the cost quietly across millions of decisions. No vote required. But people feel it anyway. They just blame themselves. I should be better with money. I should budget harder. I should work more. Sometimes that's true. Often it's not. Now zoom out even further. Inflation reshapes entire societies. Young people delay adulthood. Older generations protect assets. Wealth gaps widen without anyone signing a law. Trust erodes. When people stop believing money will hold value, they rush. They speculate. They hoard assets. They stop planning long-term. That's when economies get fragile. And here's the most dangerous part. Inflation changes what feels normal. Smaller homes become acceptable. Less security becomes standard. Permanent uncertainty becomes background noise. Not because people chose it, because prices did. So where does that leave us? Inflation isn't just an economic variable. It's a behavioral force. Quietly edits your future options. One decision at a time. One maybe later at a time. And the question isn't whether inflation will ever go back down. The real question is this: which life decisions have already been made for you before you even realized inflation was involved?